FNAF Security Breach is out, baby! The wait is over, and we can all play the highly anticipated FNAF 9. Well, if you were on the West Coast, because it came out at 6 p.m. for you, whereas for me it came out at 9. And then it didn't install fully by the time I had to sleep because this goddamn thing is 50 gigabytes. It's as big as Skyrim. And then I had to come in to work in the morning, so I haven't played it yet, but I will, okay? And with that being said, there are a ton of new characters in this game, but which ones are the scariest? That's what we're exploring today. Let's do it. And it's Glamrock Freddy. Glamrock Freddy is one of the new Glamrock animatronics in Security Breach. He is obviously the Glamrock version of Freddy Fazbear. Glamrock Freddy is based off the original Freddy Fazbear, but with an early UK 1970s vibe. Similar to Toy Freddy, he has a top hat, now with the thin blue stripe just above its brim. His microphone is now on a stand in which Glamrock Freddy holds so he can pull some sweet moves. And he is more rectangular in shape, but we still love a blocky boy. A light blue stripe is seen at the center of his bottom jaw. Glamrock Freddy within the game is Gregory's protector, attempting to help him survive until 6 a.m. and escape, with the player being able to climb into his stomach, which is being referred to as the birthday cake hatch on the PlayStation blog, and take control and hide from and evade other animatronics in certain sections. However, this usage is limited, and he will lose power and be forced to recharge before you can use him again. He was voiced by Kellen Goff, who also voiced Funtime Freddy in Sister Location, Rockstar Freddy, Mr. Hippo, and Funtime Foxy in Ultimate Custom Night, and an unused Bonnie voice from FNAF VR. And at 9, Glamrock Chica. This version of Chica is an antagonist. She is the Glamrock version of the original Chica, but these could also just be potentially reused toy animatronics. Just like the other members of the Glamrocks, she is dressed in a 1970s vibe. She is a white pink chicken with an orange beak, blue eyes, pink eyelids, and long eyelashes and orange feet, because you know, all chickens have this. She also has a few stray feathers that stick out from the top of her head and kinda act like hair with a pink bow around them, visible pink metal segments below her left eye, and a pink eyeliner above her right eye. Just like her toy and Funtime counterparts, this version of Glamrock Chica is noticeably more curvy, rather than simply round as like the original Chica is, which is gonna mean a whole lot more fan art. Chica also holds a blueberry blue and hot pink star-shaped guitar, and just like all of the Glamrocks, her eyes can be seen glowing red at times, which could also indicate facial recognition, just like the original toy animatronics had, even though it didn't really work because it was programmed by a serial killer. And at 8, Montgomery Gator. As an antagonist, Montgomery is an animatronic based on an alligator. He's actually the first animatronic to be based on a reptile. Just like the other members of the Glamrocks, he is designed to have a punk rock theme, thus dressed in an early 1970s aesthetic, and Monty is overall just colored green with patches of yellow on his stomach, jaw, and subsegments on his tail, and spots on his reptilian textured body, cause, you know, apparently the wiki had to specify that. He bears a red mohawk and a green colored suit of armor, which you won't be able to see on the green screen, cause you know, it's green. He has sharp teeth and claws painted in black, his eyelids, a streak-like paint on the muzzle, feet, and hands, excluding the fingers, are also tinted a purple color, and Montgomery ends up helping the Glamrock animatronic band as a bassist, although the fisherman in me wants to say bassist. He seems to be very tough or strong since we see him burst through a gate in the first gameplay trailer, as well as destroying a prop turret in the second, which is the most recent one. In Fury's Rage, he's also shown to be very self-loving and egotistical, stating that when he's defeated, "How can I lose? I'm so handsome." And honestly, I relate. And at 7, Roxanne Wolf. Roxanne Wolf appears to be based on the female version of Wolf from Freddy in Space 2, which is a side-scrolling fighter game individually developed and published by Scott Cawthon for Game Theory's 9-hour St. Jude Children's Research Hospital fundraiser. It is the sequel to the original FNAF 57, Freddy in Space from FNAF World. This game was made for a FNAF fan named Skylar. He had a YouTube channel named Skylar Ginn, but Skylar unfortunately had cancer and died on October 6, 2019. Just as the other members of the Glamrocks, Roxy's dressed in a 1970s, more like 80s vibe. Her facial features greatly resemble both Foxy and Mangle, most notably with the lipstick and her amber eyes, and Roxanne, however, has visible metal segments below her eyes to resemble whiskers, but I don't know why they're very clearly metal. It's kinda weird. Opposed to the red cheeks like Mangle does. Roxanne's ears also have a light gray center lined at the edges with a gray outline, and she has 2 earrings on both ears, which is 4 more earrings than I have. And at 6, Daycare Attendant. The Daycare Attendant, as it's referred to on the wiki, is actually just the Sundance or Moondrop animatronic that we've been seeing since the first trailer. The Daycare Attendant features a crescent moon-shaped head, with half of it being colored in black to fill in the missing portion. Its face is a large nose and large grin, coupled with 2 red glowing eyes, one of which is above the tip of its nose, because you know, we gotta love that. Its hands are the same white color with dark blue fingernails. It wears 2 leather wristbands and ribbons coming off of them, and a light blue nightcap and baggy pants covered in stars. In its sun version, it's colored almost entirely out of various shades of yellow. Its pants are now yellow and covered in brown stripes, and it has large yellow triangles protruding from its head to emulate those of the sun. You know how like kids draw suns? It's like that. Plus, its voice is just creepy as hell, especially in moon mode. If you watch the last trailer, holy crap. It's also implied through the trailer that Sundance might actually be a guide, sticking close to the player and warning them about the time. Once it reaches a certain point though, like at night, Sundance will end up turning into Moondrop and then chase after the player. However, I haven't gotten the chance to play the game yet. Like I said, I'm playing it in like 20-30 minutes or something like that. When I take my lunch break, I'm going home to play it. So I'm unable to substantiate this claim at this time. But I'll be able to in like an hour. Halfway through into number 5, the Alpha Z group. Staff robots are much more humanoid, futuristic, and sci-fi themed than previous characters. Their bodies look very segmented, with torsos being a very small semicircle shape, and the legs being like a tower with 2 wheels. The robots have the word staff painted on their backs, and the color scheme of the robots are off-white with blue accents and large orange cheeks. Certain staff bots also hold different clothing depending on their job. One such is wearing a sombrero as a waiter in the El Chip restaurant, and one is wearing a cap and holding a flashlight as a patrol guard. A group of staff robots, though, known as the Alpha Z group, are abandoned staff robots seen in the trash zone. These variants are much dirtier and duller in color due to just being abandoned and, you know, in the trash, and their faces have tears and large toothy smiles drawn on them. Their lower arms have black stripes drawn on them, and they have the words "in your dreams" written across their chests. Finally, each one has 2 small glowing pupils in the center of their cold black eyes. These are the Nightmare Mini Arenas, as I was calling them, that we saw teased in the first Freddy and Friends cartoon, as well as the ones that appear in the final trailer for Security Breach right at the end. So they're not Nightmare Mini Arenas, which honestly is, that's fine with me. I'm glad that that's the case. And at 4, destroyed Roxanne Wolf. In the 3rd episode of Freddy and Friends, a damaged Roxanne is shown for a single frame. While it's hard to make out what she looks like due to the severe glitches, because, you know, of course, she appears to have her eyes missing, as well as her now missing a large chunk of her face around the eyes. It is possible that she will have glowing robotic eyes similar to the ones of Withered Bonnie, or I guess the Alpha Z group. I'm still gonna call them Nightmare Mini Arenas because it's just easier. But in a poster Steel Wool released around last Christmas, it shows Roxanne holding a bag of coal with a sour expression. This could be implying that Roxanne is a somewhat rude, mischievous, and sour person. Or I guess thing. Personality. She has a bad personality. She also seems to be the most aggressive of the animatronics, as she can be seen chasing the player as well as clamping her jaw while attempting to push through a metal gate. So basically, she's the animatronic version of my father. Since also Roxanne seems to wander around the Pizzaplex aimlessly until spotting Gregory and then charging at him, kinda like my father does. It's likely that when inside Glamrock Freddy, she won't notice the player at all, and will just still stand in place, kinda like my dad too. Getting close to the end into number 3, destroyed Glamrock Chica. A broken Glamrock Chica animatronic can be found in the sewer area, or I guess it's kind of sewers, but it's also kind of not. It's cracked and broken all over the body. We saw this in the final teaser image from that one doco stream. She has paint scraping off the legs and face, and her beak has been broken off, exposing her endoskeleton jaw. The lower left side of her torso also has a massive hole in it, and the plastic suit on her left arm is entirely missing, with the exception of her wrist. Glamrock Chica seems to wander around the Pizzaplex aimlessly as well until spotting Gregory and charging at him, but in her destroyed state, she seemingly runs a little faster. I guess maybe she's more aerodynamic, you know, because like all the air gets through, it's not stopped by the animatronic chassis, you know, flows through the robotic parts, I don't know. But when inside Glamrock Freddy, she doesn't notice the player at all. She'll just stand in place. But you're also able to like knock over like paint cans and stuff to distract her so that she can move away and then you can go, but you gotta be careful. You gotta do that fast. Penultimately, in at number 2, Music Man Spider. Security Breach introduces a new variant of Music Man who is much larger. The wiki calls him DJ Music Man, but it also says that that's just the placeholder and it will be replaced once something official comes out. Personally, I still prefer my name of Music Man Spider, mostly because it's a reference to Spider-Man from the 90s cartoon. This Music Man is extremely similar in head shape to the original, however many of the details have been swapped out. And he now has blue eyebrows and cheeks as well as pink nose and lipstick. His top hat now holds a green stripe, and the top row of his teeth are decorated to look like piano keys. He now dons a large pair of green and red headphones and wears big cartoony gloves on 6 spider-like limbs. Finally, this variant of Music Man is much larger than in the original, being about a story tall. with this character being teased in the second or third Freddy and Friends cartoon. I believe it was the third if I remember correctly. And the fact that MatPat was not only able to call it, but also have it be revealed shortly after he did call it, that's what makes me know that he is the true king of FNAF, okay? Despite Dawko and Markiplier's sub count, and despite the amount of videos that I've made on the subject. We have like almost a year's worth of FNAF videos, guys, okay? That's concerning. And finally, into number 1, Tentacle Monster. Now, this unknown tentacle-based animatronic could be one of many things, and is something MatPat talks about in his latest theories. However, while most people associate tentacles with Nightmare On, it would be very weird to see them appear in this game, since technically speaking, they're just like Freddy Fazbear in our universe. Since while yes, they appeared in FNAF 4, their appearance in that game was not canon. However, their appearance in the Night Terrors of FNAF VR was canon. Therefore, in the FNAF universe, they only exist as a video game character canonically, so seeing them appear in the real world would be confusing, but not impossible given that Glitch Trap is currently sentient code and also seems to be pulling things out of the Fazbear archives. More on that in a couple days, because I recorded that video a while ago, but I think it's going out like Sunday should be the release. That's on Sunday. I'll talk more about whatever Glitch Trap's doing. However, MatPat proposed that this animatronic revealed at the end of the first Freddy and Friends video is actually Baby, like we see here in the Fazbear Frights epilogues. And while that could be the case, I don't know how accurate that can be. Considering how the final book revealing this twist, they were said to come out after the initial release of Security Breach. So perhaps that was the intention, that it would be Baby, but it would have just been a mystery in this game and then revealed properly in the books, but now the surprise is kind of spoiled, but oh well, it's still something. That's all the time we have for today, friends. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been and shall remain Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in another video.